Megan. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and if you're returning, welcome back. Today we're going to do a full body reformer, and we are going to be using our box. So if you have a box, go ahead and grab it. I do recommend a box throughout this whole series. So we're going to do short box and long box, but that's the only prop we'll be using. Really quick, I am 33 weeks pregnant this week, so this is prenatal friendly like always. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I have my box, and you can see that I have it propped up on my foot bar. So bring your foot bar onto the first notch. It's not completely flat. You can see it's a little bit on an angle. And I'm on one blue spring, so one light spring, okay? So majority of this workout will be done on a light spring. You know, I love lighter springs, but always go with what you're comfortable with. So if it's too light, you feel like you can't stabilize, you feel like you're gonna fall or uncomfortable, always go heavier, and vice versa. So let's go ahead and get started. So once you get your box propped up at that nice little slight angle, nothing too deep, just at that first notch, blue spring, we're just gonna start, excuse me, we're just gonna start with some stretches here, okay guys? So bring your knees in about right under your hips, hip distance apart, and your hands right under your shoulders, slight bend in those elbows, and then we're just gonna go into a nice little cat-cow. So arching that back, get that nice back extension. If you're pregnant, hug your baby with your core, always engaging that core, guys, and then rounding that back, pushing through those hands, and then back to a neutral spine. Good, let's do that one more time. So press through, arching that back, bringing the head up, engaging that core, nice little cow stretch, and then rounding that spine, tucking that pelvis, lifting that belly up towards your spine, press through those hands, and bring the shoulders out of your ears though, and then getting that nice little cat stretch. We're just warming up the spine here, guys. And then exhale back to that neutral spine. Perfect. From here, just bring your right hand kind of just in the middle of that box. And we're just going to press out with those knees. So just my hips are going to drop. And as that drops, I'm just going to open up towards that left side. So opening up my chest, getting a nice little rotation through the obliques and spine, but nothing too deep, especially if you are pregnant. Take a deep breath here. And then both hands back down. Let's do that right on the other side. Bring your left hand in the center of that box. Pushing the knees out, dropping those hips. And as you do so, opening up towards that right side or whatever side you're using. And just opening up that chest. Take this as a nice stretch, rotation of the spine. Feels so good. Just kind of waking up here on this Monday morning. I really need it, especially being 33 weeks pregnant. I'm starting to feel it, guys. So I'm just gonna go wag my tail, nice little puppy. Wag your back and forth. Good, so really take this as a nice stretch. And then bring those hips back right underneath your, your knees right back underneath your hips. Sorry, I got a little hair on my lip. Okay, good. So now let's go ahead and get started. Now that we kind of warmed up the spine, feeling good, roll the head out. So hands right under your shoulders here. Actually, guys, I'm lying. Let's come down onto our elbows, okay? So I'm onto my forearm, sorry. And my knees are right under my hips for now. From here, only our hips are gonna move. We're gonna start warming up that core. If you are pregnant, take this slow. Only go as far out as you are comfortable with. We're gonna warm up the core, but really work into those lower abs, okay? We're not gonna do a crunch. We're gonna just do little pelvic tilts, working those lower abs, also building that pelvic floor strength. Good, from here, hands down, forearms down. And I'm not going to move my shoulders. I'm just going to push out with that carriage with my hips. And now you're going to see my hips drop. Long spine from head to tail. And now I'm going to use my low abs. Really my core in towards my spine and bringing it right back under my hips. And I'm just stopping there. I'm not coming all the way in. So you're stopping right under the hips, and then you're pushing back out. Press through those forearms, don't sag in those shoulders. Push it out as far as you're comfortable with, and then lifting up, filling those low abs. And as you pull that carriage in, think about really building that strength on that your pelvic floor. So you're really lifting up on that pelvic floor. So when you push out, relax that pelvic floor. And then when you come in, really pull in as if you're squeezing a tampon. Good. And then back out. So take these as slow and controlled move. Nothing too fast here, okay? These are slow and controlled. We're engaging the core, finding that low ab work here. Good. Let's go for 3 more. Nice and slow. Press out. Reach the crown of that head long. Don't hand grip your box like this either, okay? Have your palms facing in towards each other. This will give you a little bit more of a challenge to put this in the core rather than using your arms to kind of stabilize you. Your hands, sorry. So palms facing in. One more time here, okay? Pressing out. Drop those hips, reach the crown of the head long, and then lift up, find that pelvic floor, and come on in. Perfect. Good. From here. So now we're just going to rotate, and I'm going to rotate facing the camera. So this is going to be my right side, okay? So depending what side you're on. We're going to get into some oblique work here. So I'm going to place my right forearm down, and just really quick, you want to make sure, I'm going to remove my platform extender. It was underneath. I don't think my box was getting a good grip onto my my foot bar. So make sure your box is on here pretty steady and it's in the middle, okay? So you don't want it to be rocking back and forth, especially on the slider spring. Good, from here. So I'm gonna place my right forearm down now onto my box, and I'm just gonna have my knees next to each other like this. So we're gonna do this kind of like in steps here. So first I'll do it kind of like a level 1, a modified version, or if you're pregnant like me and you're not too comfortable with going into side planking, stay here. So we're gonna place your right arm, forearm down, and you're just gonna go ahead and drop your hips. So now you can see that I'm in a nice long line from head to tail. My left knee is kind of lifted up onto my right leg. Hips are stacked here, guys. I'm not rolled out this way, and I'm not rolled forward. Really try to lift up through that right oblique here. And then from here, we're just gonna come into a nice little ab crunch. So you're closing that gap between your lowest rib bone and your hip bone, and then back out. So take these just as slow as you like here. Slow and controlled move again. Okay, nothing too fast. Find that core engagement, find those obliques, closing that gap, and then finding that space, reaching the crown of that head long. See if you can bring that carriage in as far as you can without losing your form here. Press through this right arm if you're on your right side. I'm not sagged into my shoulder. I'm really pressing out. Good, guys. If this is good for you, stay here. If you want more of a challenge, you're at a more intermediate advanced level, go ahead and reach your left foot over and your right foot underneath. So now you're gonna come into a full plank. From here, you're just gonna bend your knees out and in. Still pressing through that right shoulder, guys. Good. Lifting up through that right oblique. Let's go ahead and add into it. So as you press out, nice little rainbow arch over, opening up that side of the body, and then ab crunch. Use your breath. Stay strong. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly come on down. and come down onto your knees. And let's just take a quick little child's pose and before we hit that other side. Whew. So I'm finding myself really getting out of breath a lot faster, especially going up my stairs. It's ridiculous. So bear with me if I have to take a little break between sets because it's getting pretty exhausting carrying this baby. Okay, so now I'm going to turn my back and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to start with that modified version and then we'll go into that side plank. So I'm going to turn around and now I am on my left side, so my left oblique. So I'm going to place my left forearm down, stack my legs, and when I'm ready, I'm going to press that carriage out. You can still see I have a nice long line from head to tail, and I'm just going to bring that carriage in, closing that gap between the low rib cage, the lowest rib and hip bone, and back out. And I'm still pressing through this left shoulder. I'm not sagging into it, so really press through it here. Good job, guys. So we're going to add on to this. If this is good, stay here. If you want more an advanced level, let's go ahead, press out. Right foot comes forward now, left foot comes back, hand reaches out to that ceiling, and let's just bring the knees in and out. Still pressing through this left shoulder. Feel that ab crunch, lift up on that left side. And then let's add that nice little rainbow arch, and then crunch. Good job, guys, use your breath. Stay strong. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Let's come on down and a nice little child's pose again. Awesome. So let's come on up. Let's give our abs a break and we're going to turn around and we are going to do some shoulder bridges and get into some glute work here, okay? So I'm still going to stay on this light spring. If you felt like the light spring was too challenging and you just didn't feel good working on that side with that light spring, go up a little spring, a little bit heavier, especially with these glute ones, getting into it as well. So we're going to keep our box where it's at. I'm going to stay on that blue spring, and I'm going to come sitting facing the back of my reformer now, okay? So this is safe if you're pregnant, especially in your second and third trimester. You want to avoid laying on your back flat, especially for too long. But since our box is elevated, we're not going to be here that long. These are completely safe if you're in your second or third trimester, so don't worry. From here, I'm going to come onto my box. I'm going to bring my hands behind my head here and make sure your back is pretty flat onto that box. It's on there pretty securely, shoulder blades and everything. Go ahead and place your feet onto the your carriage flat. They're not up here, okay? I have them right in front of my shoulder blocks. When you're ready, press through those heels, and we're gonna lift all the way up. So now you can see my hips and my shoulders should be in line with each other. Squeezing those glutes, okay? Make sure your feet are right under your knees. You're not like this, and you're not like this. So you want them right underneath so you get a nice firm grip. And you want to make sure your glutes are fired up and your hamstrings. And then let's just roll down. So try to keep that carriage still as we touch our butt onto that carriage and then press through those heels and come right back up. Squeeze those glutes. Good job, guys. And slowly release as we come back down. So again, another slow and controlled movement here. Carriage is still. So you're working isometrically just to keep that carriage still. So glutes are fired up big time here. To keep our hamstrings also. To keep the carriage still and then pressing through those heels, squeezing those glutes and hamstrings as we come on up. Use your breath. Good. Last one. Rolling down, touching all the way down, and then coming on up. Stay there, guys. Squeeze those glutes. And now we're going to press that carriage out and bring it right back where we started. So I'm not bringing it all the way in. I'm stopping. It should be right under my heel, knees. Out and in. Slow and controlled again. Glutes should be fired up. Hamstring should be fired up. Stay strong. Use that breath. Squeeze those glutes. Keep those heels lifted. Just like so. So the lighter spring, if you're with me, good job. This should be pretty challenging. Slow and controlled. Let's go for 3, 2, and last one, stay up. Just bring those feet right back underneath your knees. And from here, we're just gonna pulse it up. Squeeze those glutes. Come on, guys. Keep those knees like you have a magnet. Don't let them fall out towards the side. Keep them right in line. 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Squeeze it on top. And then slowly roll on down. And then slowly come on up out of that. Whew. Good job, guys. So hopefully you really felt that burn. I really felt my glutes and hamstrings engage on that lighter spring with that really nice, slow and controlled movement, okay? So we're gonna put our box, just leave it there, it's totally fine. And now we're just gonna stay back here facing the back of our reformer. Go ahead and sit facing the back of the reformer, okay? So if you can and you feel comfortable enough, place your legs through the shoulder blocks, or you can sit crisscross or sit onto your feet, whatever you're comfortable with here, okay? Especially if you have tight hip flexors, this might hurt you, so elevate yourself. And we're gonna grab our straps. You can see how winded I get now. It's so weird how much your body changes, and yeah, so I'm just kind of taking it easy now and slowing down, guys. So I'm doing my best to produce these videos for you, but it's getting a little bit harder, so I hope you understand. Good. From here, we're gonna choke up onto our straps, just so we get more range of motion. Also, we're still on that light spring. So sitting up nice and tall here, guys. And we're gonna pull it in, and then we're gonna pull out to a T. So the challenging part here right now is going to be keeping our arms up at shoulder level. Right now you're probably like, oh, this is so light, I'm not feeling it, I need a heavier spring. Don't worry, focus on your form here. Sitting tall in your sit bones, reaching the crown of that head long, and keeping your arms up at shoulder level. You can see I have not dropped them yet. And I'm bringing my arms back. I'm not squeezing my shoulder blades together, but I'm engaging that shoulder girdle as I pull back, and then I'm reaching out, hitting the deltoids. So we got a lot of muscles working here, even on this light spring, okay? So just take your time, use your breath, and really stay on your form and make these another slow and controlled move. Just like so. Good job, guys. Shoulder arm. Our arms should should be warmed up by now, and you should start feeling this really in the back of your shoulders, and your deltoids should start firing up here. Good. Let's go for 3, 2, Good job. Last one. We're going to stay out in that T here, okay? Reach the crown of that head long. We're just going to bend the elbows in and out. In and out. So it's a really slow movement of that carriage, but really feel those shoulders fire up. Good. Don't drop those arms. I haven't dropped them. Keep breathing. For 5, 4, sit tall. 3, 2, and 1. Slowly come on down. Whew, shake those shoulders out. We are almost done here, okay? So let's go ahead. If you're sitting like I am, let's switch our feet. So I'm going to place my left foot on top now. So I have my right foot. Now I'm going to place my left foot. It's just so we can get even movement through the hips, because when we actually elevate our foot over one leg, we are elevating our hip too. So that's why it's always good to kind of switch legs between exercises, so you're working those hips just as much. Good. From here, we're going to still be choked up, sitting up tall, bringing our arms in. So now you can see where I'm starting. My elbows are glued towards my side here. And now they're going to stay there. Engage that core. Reach the crown of that head long. And when you're ready, you're going to pull back. So tricep extension and in. Good. So palms are facing in towards your body. And my elbows are staying glued towards the side of my body. And I'm just hinging from that elbow joint. So my arms aren't really moving. It's just from bending the elbow and extending. Extend and bend. That's it. Feel those triceps burn up. Hold it back there for a second. And then slowly release. Just like so, guys. Sitting up nice and tall. Again, another slow and controlled move here. We're going to add on to this, and you're just going to see my hands move. That's the only thing that's going to be different. So as I extend back, I'm just going to rotate my hands out and then bring them back in. So it's just kind of like a flick of the wrist. So when you flick that wrist out and then bring it back in, you'll feel your triceps kind of fire up in a different way. Good. So we're hitting every head of the tricep here, guys. Let's go for 3. Stay nice and tall. Pull the shoulders out of the ears. I'm guilty of that too. So if you feel like your shoulders are kind of hiking up, relax them. 2. And last one. Come on in. And just take a nice flexion over if you can. If you got a big belly like me, just a slight one. Roll out those shoulders and the head. Good. And then let's go ahead and place our straps back down onto our rings. So we don't need our straps right now. And we're going to come up, and now we're going to come back to our box, and we're going to move our box to a short box here. So I'm going to put my short box on, and normally, I'm going to put my short box on, and I'm going to place it over my shoulder blocks. I'm about 5'6", so depending on your height, where you put your box, okay? So if you're on the shorter side, I would bring your box in front of your shoulder blocks here, okay? If you're on the taller side, you can place it over the shoulder blocks. And I'm just going to put my extension back on, because we're going to do some more ab work. And then really quick, let's add a couple more springs onto our reformer, sorry. So, and it's just so our reformer doesn't move, because we're on that light spring if you're with me. So let's just add a few more so our reformer doesn't move. So I'm just going to add 2 more heavy springs. And we're not going to be using that weight against us. We're just doing it so our reformer does not move. And then we're going to sit up here nice and tall. So if you are pregnant to your second, third trimester, move with me, okay? We are not going to release our feet in the short box series. If you're used to the short box series with the ab, where we release our feet and we come into a C curve, we're not going to do that anymore in our second and third trimester. We're not going to put that strain in our core. We want to avoid doming as much as possible. You know, we don't want the DR. We don't want the separation of our core muscles, okay? So we really have to protect our core when we do ab exercises. So with that being said, if you're in your second and third trimester, stay with me. If you are not pregnant and you are in intermediate and advanced level and you know the short box core series, go ahead and fly here, guys. Put your feet in straps and then you can come into a nice C curve here. But with me, that's why I place my platform extender, or if you don't have a platform extender, just feet are flat on your platform. And if your feet aren't reaching that platform as you sit up nice and tall, move your box closer. Good. From here, just go ahead and find genie arms. And then keeping your feet flat if you're pregnant, we're just gonna do a nice little long spine. So we're just gonna keep our feet flat, pull your tummy in towards your core, your spine, sorry, hug your baby, and just come back, keeping that spine nice and long, tuck the chin, and then come on up. So these are very, very small movements, but we're really challenging that core again. Okay, use your breath. So nothing too big, and like I said, if you're not pregnant, go ahead and place your feet in the strap in front of you, and just go ahead, release your feet as you come into that nice long spine, engage the core, feel those core muscles fire up, and then bring yourself right back up onto your sits bones. Okay, so we're gonna add on to this, so now you got that motion. So as we hinge back, stay back there, engage that core, and just bring your arms up overhead, back to genie arms, and back up. So now we're just bringing our arms up overhead a little, okay? So that's challenging our core even more here. Still maintaining that nice long spine. And up. So if you have a big belly like me, you probably definitely feel your core really trying to stabilize here. Just avoid that doming look. Keep your belly as nice and round as possible. If you look down and you feel like your belly's coming into a cone, don't do the arm lifts, okay? And hug that belly and lift. And back up. Good. From here, we're going to add on, okay? So now we're just going to add a nice little rotation from left to right. So stay with me. Same mentality here, okay? If you're not pregnant, you go ahead and release the feet into that nice little rotation. If you're pregnant, keep your feet flat. Good. From here, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to come back into that nice long spine. Hug your baby. And then you're just going to rotate towards that left side. Use your breath. And center and up. Really slow and controlled here, guys. Let's go that other side. Hinge back, hug your baby. And then let's rotate towards that right side. Center and up. Good. So now that you've got the motion, go at your own pace here. Good. So if you're not pregnant, you will release your legs. So you have your feet in straps. Really feel that core fire up. And then rotate. Feel those obliques. Center and up. Good. Let's go on that one side one more time. Right side, sorry. Hinge back, hug the baby. And then let's rotate towards that right side. Center and job, guys. So now we're just gonna rotate towards the camera here and hit some obliques. So really quick, if you're pregnant and you did that whole series with me with your feet flat, you'll see how challenging that was. Just like those little tiny movements, you really feel your core really challenged there. So it's a great exercise to still strengthen our core. When we're pregnant, I've said this before, just because we're pregnant doesn't mean we have to stop doing core exercises. They're just gonna be very minimal and definitely a little bit safer. Sorry, there's a car. But good. So now let's rotate towards the camera here. And now we're gonna go ahead and place our right foot. So I'm facing you guys. I'm gonna work into my left side here. I have my right foot into that strap, okay? So we'll do this in a modified and then advanced version. So another thing, when you're pregnant, it's okay to do oblique crunches, okay? It's okay to come into that nice little oblique crunch, kind of like we were doing with the box earlier. It's still safe to do that. It's not safe to do crunches in our erectus abdominis, which is our six pack. So that's why we avoid crunches facing forward, but we can still work into our obliques. So that's why side bends are still okay if you're comfortable doing them, okay? I still feel comfortable doing them, so I still love to work my obliques when I am pregnant. Good. From here, so right foot in strap, left foot is onto the onto your box here. And then let's go ahead, so we'll do the modified version. So go ahead and place your right hand over, and you can place it onto your headrest here, okay? So this is for very beginners and Pilates and my pregnant mamas in their second and third trimester that aren't comfortable with side bends anymore. So place your foot, reach that arm over, and hand on your headrest here. Go ahead and release that foot. So now my foot's not on my platform anymore. I have it hooked in my strap and it's released, okay? And I have a nice line from head to tail here. So think of a nice line here and really pull those shoulders back. And then we're just gonna challenge ourselves here. So if you're pregnant and this is where you're at, this is very modified version, you're just going to swing your arm left, up, and down. Nice little rainbow version with your foot released into that strap. So don't have it onto your platform, okay? Still challenge those obliques, but you have your hand on your headrest, and that's going to be your support there. And you're just gonna wave your arm up and down. Pull that tummy in towards your spine. Reach those obliques long. Feel that nice stretch in that right side. So obliques are working hard here, even with this slow little motion here, and with your hand on your headrest. So it's a nice little challenge here. Okay, good. So this is good for you. Stay here. If you want more of a challenge here, guys, here's my intermediate advance. And my pregnant mamas that have been doing this for a long time and feel comfortable, come on up. We can place our hands on our heart. We're gonna release our foot and we're gonna reach over, putting our body into that well. Head to tail is nice and long. We're gonna bring their body into that well and up. Good job, guys. Pull that core in towards your spine, protecting our baby. Pull those shoulders back, and you're just closing that gap again. Low rib bone, hip bone here, okay? Reach that crown of that head long. Good. If you want more of a challenge, you can bring your hands behind your head. And if you want more of a challenge, hands up overhead, but I just cannot do that anymore, especially being this big. So you find where you're at and you close that gap. Good job, guys. Keep that leg nice and strong. Reach the crown of that head long. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on in. Whew. Good. If you're not pregnant, you can go ahead and just take a nice little rotation into that well. but if you are, it's going to be too much of a rotation for our core, so let's avoid that, okay? And let's come on up, and let's hit that other side. So, take it on the other side and do the same exact thing. So we'll start with that modified version. So hand onto your headrest, foot in your strap, right foot onto your box here, reaching that right arm overhead, left arm, sorry, releasing that foot. So now come into a nice long line from head, tail to toe, foot is lifted. I don't have that support of the extender or the platform, but I have the support of the headrest. From here, reaching that head long, and I'm just going to swing arm up and down, challenging those obliques. Okay, so this is for anybody that didn't feel comfortable doing a side bend, or if you're too pregnant, this is just as great for your obliques, guys. Okay, you're lengthening them, and you're still challenging and strengthening them with this nice, slow, and controlled movement. Now, for my advanced, intermediate advanced, or my pretty advanced pregnant mamas, let's go ahead into a side bend. So hands on your heart or behind your head, release that foot and bringing that body into the well. Shoulders are stacked, hips are stacked, and up. Hug that baby if you're pregnant. Closing the gap between your smallest rib bone and your hip bone. Good. And then you can take those challenges, hands on your heart, hands behind your head, or hands overhead. Good. Good job, guys. Pull those shoulders back. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on up. If you're not pregnant, you can take that nice little rotation stretch into your well. But if you are, let's avoid those deep rotation twists. Perfect. Good job, guys. So let's give our legs, our abs a little bit of a break. And then let's go back to our light spring here. So we're going to go back into that light spring. Okay? So I'm going to keep my box where it is, and I'm going to walk around my reformer. Okay? So it's on that light spring, so we're going to hit some inner thighs. Careful getting onto the reformer here. Remember, always step onto your platform and then our reformer. Never step reformer platform, because that light spring, that carriage flies out, you will fall. Careful if you're pregnant, always, okay? Good. From here, let's go ahead and bring our feet, toes pointing out towards that side, okay? So almost like the first position or second position, because our heels aren't going to be together. So toes out pointing to that side, hands on your hips or at prayer, whatever you're comfortable with. And we're just going to press that carriage all the way out till you're comfortable. Challenge that pelvic floor here, and then feel those inner thighs, bring it on up. So as you push out, relax that pelvic floor, relaxing everything, and then as you bring it in, squeezing that tampon, finding that magnet between your inner thighs, and coming right back in. Good, so take your time here. Another slow and controlled movement. Nothing too fast. And you really want to find that inner thigh engagement. So press that as far as you can. Challenge yourself, just until you're comfortable though. If you're new to this, don't press up too far. I don't want you to fall. I don't want you to feel like once you're out there, you're stuck. Good. So this is a really big challenge for our inner thighs. Grow tall as you come on in, and then release everything out. Good job, guys. Good. Let's do one more out. Stay out there. Bend your knees. and come on in and press through those heels. So we're just gonna add on. So we're pressing out till far as you can. Bend those knees, a nice plie squat. Bring it on in and press through those heels and up. Good. So take your time again. And when you come into that nice plie squat, guys, it's straight down. I'm not arching my butt out like this. Think you have like two planes, one in front of you and behind you, and you're sliding down and up, okay? Let's go out for two more. And last one. And now we're going to reverse it. So now we're going to come into a plie squat. Press out till you're comfortable. Extend those knees and bring it in. Plie squat. Extend out. Extend those knees and in. Good, let's go a couple more. Stay strong, feel those inner thighs really fired up here. Okay, keep that butt in, don't arch it out. Good guys, last one. Let's make our legs parallel here and we're gonna press out. Just a little, okay? So you're just pressing out so your carriage leaves that stopper, but you're not all the way out here. So you really just kind of want your feet right under your hips, not too far out. From here, the challenge part here is now to keep that carriage still. You don't want it to move out like this. So feet right under your hips. And now we're gonna go into a squat. Now you can sit back towards your heels. Let's bring our arms up overhead and up. Over and up. Still challenging those inner thighs so your carriage doesn't move. So remember, your carriage left the stopper, but now you don't want your carriage to push out or come on in. And you're just pressing through those heels, sitting back into those heels and up. Squeezing those glutes, still squeezing those inner thighs as you come on up, and also finding your pelvic floor here. So nice little heart lifting movement, but we're still working a lot. Let's go for 3, 2, and then last one. Stay in that squat here, hands to prayer, little pulses. Carriage hasn't moved. Stay strong, guys. Good, let's lift our left heel up. Carriage doesn't move. Try to keep it still as possible. Stay low in that squat. Good, let's switch feet, right heel up. Good, and for an extra challenge, just bring both heels up and little tiny ones. This is hard, find a spot. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stand all the way up and bring that carriage in. Excellent, guys. Go ahead and step on down. Definitely winded again. So, again, when we do inner thighs, the best thing about it is that just on one side, you're working both sides, so we don't have to turn around and do the other side. Good. From here, let's go ahead and put our boxes to the side. And we're going to stay on that light spring. And we're almost done. We're just going to end with feet in straps, a single leg, okay? So I'm going to be on my left side. So I'm going to grab my strap. I'm going to come down onto my left side. But I'm actually going to be on my left forearm here, okay? So if this is not comfortable for you, grab a yoga block and you can lay down on your side, use it as a pillow or the mini ball, whatever works. But if you want to stay with me, let's keep our arm up and perch and place your foot into that strap. Think of a nice long line here from head to tail, and we're just going to bend in, keeping that leg up at hip level, okay? So that's a challenging part on this light spring. Don't worry, we're definitely going to burn it out. So don't feel like, oh, this is too light again. Good, guys. So just bend it in, right above that bottom leg. Press through that left shoulder. I'm not sagged into it. Pull those shoulders back. Hips are stacked. And press through that heel. Good. Bend and stretch. Just like so. So the challenging part, like I said, is keeping this hip up. Sorry, this leg up at hip level. Don't drop it, okay? Pull those shoulders back. You got it, guys. Focus on your breath. We are almost done. Good. Let's go for 3, 2, and last one. Keep it straight now, and now we're just going to go in pendulum kick. So kick it forward, comes right on top of that bottom leg, and pull back. So let's flex the foot as you bring it forward, pull those shoulders back, and then point those toes as you pull it back. Same thing, I have not dropped my leg. I have kept it up at hip level for these 2 exercises so far. Still pressing through this left shoulder. I have not sagged through that arm. Reaching the crown of that head long. My hips are stacked. Good job, guys. So another slow and controlled movement. Let's go for 3, 2, and last one. Let's add some circles. So leg straight, comes up to the ceiling, drops in front of you, and pulls. Just watch the strap and make sure it doesn't hit you in the face. So kind of keep your leg slightly in front of you. Good. Point those toes. Try to make it pretty. Pull those shoulders back, guys. Whew. See, now you'll definitely start feeling that light spring working against you with these slow and controlled moves. And then let's reverse the direction here, okay? So we're gonna bring it forward, up to the ceiling, and down. Good. Let's go for 3, 2, and last one. Bring it slightly in front of you where you can see your toes and just little circles. Whew. And then let's reverse them for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend it in and just rub it out. Good job, guys. So hopefully you felt that just as much as I felt that. Good, so let's go ahead, take that strap off. Let's go hit that other side. So I'm gonna have my back towards you, and we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So now I'm on my right side, and I'm gonna place my left foot in that strap. From here, we're just gonna start with that bend and stretch. So bending the knee in, kicking through that heel. So flex that foot, bend it in, point the toe back. Good. Pull those shoulders back, guys. Same thing. Stack those hips. Reach the crown of that head long. Pressing through this right shoulder. Keeping this leg up at hip level. Don't drop it. Good. Slow and controlled. Let's go for 3, 2, and 1. Keep that leg nice and long. Now we're just gonna sweep it forward and back. So flex the foot as you sweep it right on top of that bottom leg and point the toe back. Don't drop this leg. Keep it up. Feel that burn. Feel it getting stronger, getting toner. Good job, guys. Let's go for 3. Use your breath. 2. And last one. Keep it long. We're going to reach it up towards that ceiling. Drop it in front of you and pull back. So we're just doing circles. Same thing here. Focus on your posture, especially if you're up on your shoulder like I am, still pressing through. Let's go for 3, 2, and 1. Let's reverse the direction. Forward, up, and down. Good job, guys. Glute is on fire. Outer thigh is on fire. So we are definitely getting a great little stretch and workout here. Good. From here, guys, right in front of you, just so you can see your toes, and just little tiny circles. Burn it out. Don't drop that leg. Stay with me for 2 and 1. Let's reverse the direction for 5. We're almost there. 4. Breathe. 2 and 1. Bend it in and rub it out. Whoa. And slowly come on out of that. Good job, guys. Let's just take a nice little pigeon stretch. So I'm going to sit, like a 4 stretch. So I'm going to sit forward, and I'm going to start with my leg, my right leg. So I'm going to bring my right leg to a nice little 4 stretch here. This should feel really nice, especially with those last exercises that we just did. So take your time here. If you can't, hinge forward just a little and feel those hip abductors. Get a nice stretch here. Engage that core. And then let's go ahead and switch sides. Left leg over and just hinge forward a little. So my movements are getting a little bit smaller here. Baby's moving. She's like, what just happened? And come on up. Awesome job, guys. If you want more of a stretch, be my guest. Take your time. But that is all for today. I want to say that was about a 50-minute workout. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for the ones that have subscribed to my channel. I just partnered with YouTube. I'm so excited. That's a huge milestone for me. You know, I do these videos for you guys. So all I ask for you is to watch my videos, engage with me, give them a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, leave a comment, leave a request, whatever you like. If you have a request or a question, I always try to get back to anybody that writes a comment. So please do so. We can have fun with the last few weeks of my pregnancy. Like I was saying earlier, I'm 33 weeks pregnant. I'm feeling myself starting to slow down in this 3rd trimester. I am getting a little tired. So I'm really trying my best to continue to push these videos out for you guys because I love them so much. And I want to continue to grow this channel. So thank you so much for the ones that have been with me and supporting me. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys soon. Thank you.